Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright and breezy day. It is Friday the 2nd of February and I'm in the reading up with a nice hot cup of tea and a package to continue unboxing. And what I'm going to pull out of here is, I'm going to warn you, this involves strong language. This is Beware The Mindfuck. So consequently it's going to carry, it does carry an 18 plus explicit content warning. This is an adventure for Lamentations of the Flame Princess Weird Fantasy Role-Playing, published by Lamentations of the Flame Princess. So, warning, this adventure is not suitable for children and sensitive about adults. We open up and we have another nice piece of artwork on the inside, credits page, and background London, section there, inhabitants and encounters, and we've got the background from 224 BC to Saturday, September the 1st, 1666. Okay, so why is that date significant? September the 1st, 1666. Well, if you're British, you will probably know from school, from your school history lessons, that's quite an important date in the history of London, because that's when the Great Fire of London, or the day before the Great Fire of London, spread, or which destroyed much of the city and helped deal with basically deal with the rats, and which had carried and spread the plague with their fleas for the past year. The Great Plague had been going on for a year prior to this, 1665, and it wasn't the worst plague outbreak that the country had suffered. There'd been others in the 14th and 13th centuries which were much worse. The Great Death essentially wiped out huge numbers of the population. The plague of 1666, not 1665, not quite as bad, but nevertheless, I'm not downplaying it at all. So we've got some background essentially on the history of the plague and the run-up essentially to the events of 1666 here. You said the fact that the plague came, entered the country via the port of Weymouth in Dorset. And there's even a board game devoted to that called Plague. And it's about you sort of like controlling the plague across the town. And then we have the advice here, the question: what the fuck is really going on? And it says, a mindfucker from the stars has landed its starship on Earth, having become aware of a plague that will allow it to secretly mindfuck humanity. So, yes, great. That sounds something, doesn't it? Basically an alien taking advantage of a terrible historical event. So we've got a section here on how to get the player involved. It's sort of like in the first playtest, I had a member of the Catholic Church hired the party to investigate a popular new religion called the Saints Sion, which is sort of tied into this alien being. And there's another suggestions there. Then we've got a description essentially of base description of London, the Black Death, the fire, and essentially I think the church of the Saints of the Sion on Pudding Lane. Oh, it's on Pudding Lane. Now, Pudding Lane, of course, is the location where the fire started in a bakery, allegedly, and spread throughout the city. Oh, right. So here, what you're thinking of, so what I've got to do, as a player character, is cross London, find Pudding Lane, go to this church, deal with the thing there, and probably my best solution is to deal with it is what every player and every character wants to do is just set it on fire and run, which conveniently starts the Great Fire of London. And then we have details of the fucker and that as well. So, right, okay, then other inhabitants, rat swarm fanatics, because the rat swarms are running around carrying the fleas which are going to bite you and give you the plague. Watchmen, body snatchers, plague doctors. We've got a conspiracy theorist down there. This young Alex Jones-looking motherfucker stands on the street corner all day and yells about how the King Charles has sold the people out to a creature from the stars. Or the new religion is a cult trying to kill off mankind. He's right, of course, but everyone thinks he's a fucking head. Yeah. Okay, so you actually have someone who does know what's going on there, and it turns out that essentially it's a 17th century version of Alex Jones, the conspiracy, the right-wing conspiracy theorist. Brilliant. So, what we've got here is essentially got a set of encounters, and these got with ambushes by body snatchers, plague doctors, corpse collectors, who really are shouting out, "Bring out your dead!" Watchmen fanatics, victuals constables, basically they're handing out, food because people are being locked into houses because they've got the plague. Plague doctors, rat swarms, body snatchers, fanatics, turncoats, balls of lightning, and of course, what else we got? A Pondicchio. This little man bitch will approach the party as soon as they are done with the last encounter and immediately start complaining. He whines about the city having no map, and if it's up to me, would have done this differently, blah, blah, blah. Thundering voice, he will follow the party regardless. He's an annoying as fuck and will continue bitching and complaining the whole time about everything, or even locate and even insult the party, attracting a rat swarm. Okay. Essentially, basically, he will follow the party regardless of whether they like it or not, until then he goes around reviewing other people's works. Really? Essentially, he's having a dig at reviewers here. Then we have basically we've got the last of the encounters, and then wrapping this shit up. I know there's no fucking map. I don't use maps, and B, there's a metric fuck ton of 17th century maps of the old London out there, which most of the adventure takes place. And well, that's a fair point. I'll give him that. But and then he says, I don't use maps. Okay, fine. Well, he doesn't use maps, but when you're running this, you're not the author. You're not the author, so you might actually need a map. So there's no excuse for that. Okay, you're meant to be. The author is meant to be helping the game master run this, and a map could help. So, that's a ridiculous thing to. That's an absurd statement. Okay, fine. He doesn't use maps. Other people do. He needed to account for it. And as to his attack on reviewers, I mean, it's again, that's ridiculous. If he doesn't like take criticism like that, then fine. Who does? But hey, he's written a book. It's out there. It's going to be reviewed, and some people will like it. Some people won't. That means that he will suffer criticism. Tough. So yeah, I look forward to giving this a proper review. Which you'll find a link down below. So yeah, this is kind of classic Lamentations of the Weird, Lamentations of the Flame Princess Weird Fantasy Role Playing. It's basically designed to kind of screw over your players, make their lives hell. It's a very short kind of adventure. It's probably like a one-shot, one-session thing, because I can't see there's anything much in the way of plot or ongoing story. It's essentially you've just got to go across London, and then from there investigate the church, deal with the creature as best you can. Presumably, it's set up that way. Find a means of setting light to it, and in the process set light to the whole of London. Somebody has to, because it's historically ordained. It's written into the timeline, as it were. So yeah, that is Beware the Mindfuck from Lamentations of the Flame Princess. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. If you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a package containing a book or game, which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook, and we'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.